So thank you so much for being here and supporting this event, really. Before we ask you more about the forum, I quickly want to ask you, our current issue of Business World is on India's most respected companies. And we are keen to know your thoughts on what you believe are the traits that contribute to respect in corporate India.
uh, when we say companies, the purpose of the company is to serve the consumers, to serve the stakeholders, and be a part of the growth story of the country. So, purpose is very essential for most organizations. It is not just the size, it is not just the scale, but if you are having a purpose built in your organization, which meets both how it meets the aspirations of the country, its stakeholders, and the consumers, that is very, very important. The second important aspect of any business that we do is trust. If your consumers are able to trust you, then it is more than the business you generate out of this and the turnover and the value money. So,
Right.
to my mind, purpose and trust becomes the two most important pillars on which any organization stands.
Right. So, in your view, are company leaders doing enough to earn this respect from their stakeholders? That includes a rather demanding set of new age consumers. What should be a guiding light there, according to you?
So, this is where actually the job of all the professionals working in the organization is not just necessarily the responsibility of the top man or the CEOs, but the culture you build in the organization. Prepare everyone to respond to the changing needs of the customers, adapt to the changes, be open to understanding what's happening around, and be flexible and resilient to take care of this. So this is where is the essence of leadership all about, and it's not the leadership of the few key people who operate, but everyone in the organization. But this is what the top leaders have to continuously be focusing on.
Two quick questions. Speaking of India Inc., how do you see 2024 from a business perspective?
This is a good year. Every year is a good year. It depends on how you as an organization cope up with changes. COVID was a big challenge in which at least organizations like Amul showed that they can work 24/7 and be resilient to any of the things which happen around us. Having said that, this year has begun well for most of the business houses. The summer has been pretty good. The monsoon is likely to be good. And overall, since we are agricultural-driven economy, we may not dependent on it for the economy point of view, but since it occupies and gives livelihood to more than 60% of the population, all these factors do matter. So we're quite optimistic at Amul about how this year is going to be, and we will continue the journey which we've been pursuing for the last 77 years.
She has one last question for you.
So how are you positioning Amul as Wellbeing first brand?
When you deal in food, and particularly like milk, which is a superfood, that's what our job is. To see that the goodness of milk is communicated to all the consumers. It's not just we're talking to every set of customer across age groups, across all income groups. And this is where if we are able to highlight the goodness of milk, the composition of milk, the sum of parts of milk, addressing and appealing to requirements of every single set of customers. And I did talk about protein becoming an important part of it, or how milk can be an important source, or for cultured products can be important source of probiotics, to working on overall goodness and wellness of the consumers. This is what is our job, is our focus continuously, and it's not just nutrition of the customers, it's also livelihood for the producers. So if 3.6 million farmers are engaged into this and women producers are treating this as a source of their livelihood, it's a dual responsibility like brands like Amul has.
And I have to ask you, this association, you supported this event. We saw some wonderful, thought leaders here. Two words on this association.
No, I am amazed by the event, the kind of speakers you have got, the discussions you have had, and more importantly, I'll not talk about anything else, but the success of this lies in the thought you have left behind, the questions you have raised in the minds of all the audience, and this is what the credit goes to you as the organizing team and all the speakers who talked about all the things which touch us, focus on our well-being, and also help us becoming better human beings. That's very more important.
Thank you, Mr. Mehta, for your.
Thank you so much. Thanks.